White flag has been raised. They're off. On the run to the first of again 17 fences, Prance the Beauchene is disputing the lead as they rise at the first fence with over in second place. Need to Know, and Mossy Joe is gone at the first. Mossy Joe out of the race at the opening fence as they continue their journey now towards the second, and out in front is Prance the Beauchene, followed by Need to Know with Boxer George over third as they clear that first ditch and continue now to fence number 3. And Prance the Beauchene is a clear leader, 8 to 10 lengths in front over the third fence, followed by Need to Know, and then Salsify, who took it well and landed third. Boxer George and Current Exchange being followed by Luck Nagal as they go now to the last fence in the back straight. Fence number 4, Prance the Beauchene, a long way in front, followed by Need to Know, Salsify, another good jump, and that takes him into second. Boxer George next with Current Exchange and Luck Nagal, and then further back to On the Fringe and Sebedy. As the 8 runners that remain in the race face up now to the next, which is the second ditch, and Prance the Beauchene is clear of the field, safely over from Salsify, who's gone away from Need to Know, and Current Exchange has blundered Tim Dunworth out of the saddle there at that one as they make the run towards the fence on the bend into the straight. And it is Prance the Beauchene who is the field well spaced out. Salsify second, and then Need to Know, Boxer George, and then Luck Nagal, and On the Fringe, and Sebedy is the back marker. So 7 left in it now as they swing into the straight to the fence below the stands, which is fence number 7 in the Raymond Smith Memorial Hunters Chase. Prance the Beauchene not so far in front as Salsify closes right up behind the leader, twice winner and of the Fox Hunters, and returning from time off with in third place Need to Know. Luck Nagal on the near side of Boxer George, the fence which will be the final fence next time. And as they come up now to passes, Prance the Beauchene is headed on the far side by Salsify, then Need to Know, Boxer George, Luck Nagal, and then Sebedy, and On the Fringe on the inside, the 2011 winner and runner-up last year. A circuit to race and another 10 fences to jump. Salsify, Coleman, Sweeney now show a length and a half to 2 lengths in front of Prance the Beauchene, reined back into second by Patrick Mullins, and then Need to Know, Declan Lavery on the inside of Boxer George and Cato Farrell, and then Luck Nagal, On the Fringe, and Sebedy. 10 fences left to jump as they approach the first of 2 away from the stand. Salsify in front from Prance the Beauchene on the outside of the course in the halved 2-tone blue colours, and then Need to Know, Boxer George, Luck Nagal, Sebedy, and On the Fringe. Between the 2 fences past the stands, they've 9 left to jump. Inside halfway now, Salsify the leader of this one from Prance the Beauchene, and then Need to Know, Luck Nagal on the outside of Boxer George, then Sebedy, and On the Fringe the back marker. The 7 runners turn outside the 10 furlong point, another 8 fences to jump, and it's Salsify in the lead from Prance the Beauchene and Need to Know, and then Luck Nagal and Boxer George, and the front 5 have gone on from On the Fringe and Sebedy. Racing now to the first of the fences in the back straight. They've 8 left to jump, and it is Salsify the leader by a couple of lengths from Prance the Beauchene, and then Need to Know, Boxer George as they jump this one now, the first of the ones in the back straight, and head away from it back to the point at which they started, and it's Salsify who enjoys a 2.5 length lead over Need to Know and Prance the Beauchene, matching strides 2 and 3, then Luck Nagal, Boxer George next, and then a break to Sebedy, and On the Fringe brings up the rear as they complete a circuit, and this next fence has been taken out, not jumping this one. It's Salsify from Prance the Beauchene and Need to Know on the inside, followed by Luck Nagal and Boxer George, Sebedy, and On the Fringe. Going now to the second last of the ditches. This is a mile from the finish, and it's Salsify by a couple of lengths to Prance the Beauchene. Need to Know on the inside was better there in the air than Prance the Beauchene, and then Luck Nagal further back in the field with Boxer George, Sebedy, and On the Fringe. Going to the second last of the fences in the back straight. This is 5 from home, and it's Salsify over and clear now from Need to Know and Prance the Beauchene. Boxer George was slow there. Going to the next, which is the fourth from the finish inside the final three quarters, and it is Salsify who leads the Raymond Smith Memorial Hunters Chase field to the next from Prance de Beauchene and Need to Know, followed by Luck Nagal on the fringes trying to make a bit of ground, and Boxer George and Kate O'Farrell have gone their separate ways at that one. So they're turning now to the last of the ditches. This is three from home. Salsify with Need to Know and Prance de Beauchene closing back up in behind the leader. 3 lengths to Luck Nagal, and then on the fringe in Zebedee as they jump the third last fence and begin the run to the home turn. And in the lead is still Salsify, followed in second place by Need to Know. Prance de Beauchene still with them in third. Luck Nagal, and on the fringe is closing right onto the heels of the leaders, and then comes Zebedee, tightening up now as they approach the second last. Salsify from Need to Know. Prance de Beauchene third, on the fringe, closing on the outside to go fourth. Then Luck Nagal and Zebedee, they're rounding the home turn. A good run to the final fence. Salsify joined by Need to Know, roused up on the outside, and then Prance de Beauchene, and on the fringe behind them, they're straightening up with one fence left to jump. Salsify with Need to Know in the centre. Prance de Beauchene is coming back to join them, and on the fringe on the near side as they come now to the final fence, and Prance de Beauchene and Patrick Mullins lead at the last from on the fringe, and Nina Carberry trying to close on the near side. They Need to Know and Awakening Salsify, but it's Prance de Beauchene with the advantage from on the fringe as they run up to the finish. On the fringe is coming fighting back, but Prance de Beauchene on the far side. Prance de Beauchene will protect his winning sequence in Hunter Chase Company and Extended. Beats on the fringe. They're